Hello and welcome to the Insert Bees Here podcast. I'm your host Tenzin, and joining me today are JD and Mr. Lopez. JD has already been a
Yo.
guest on here. If you would like to introduce yourself again, feel free.
Uh, I feel no introductions needed.
Awesome. And also we have Mr. Lopez, which is who was both of our chemistry teachers in high school. Both of our chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Lopez, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, I feel kind of you already did a great introduction. Mr. Lopez, I teach chemistry at Hill High. Some of you probably already know me, but if you don't, hopefully you will at some point.
Awesome. Okay, so the way that this episode is going to be structured is sort of just basically, I think, talking about like chemistry that chemistry conversation topics that pique our interest, and also telling a few stories from when we had him in class. So I think I'd like to start off with the latter. And one of my best memories was right before the class was basically shut down due to COVID. We were moved across buildings, basically, for construction. And in that classroom, which used to be which was in the creative arts section of the school, one day there was just a big bottle of lemon scented ammonia, and my friend Ben walks over and decides to smell it, and he says that it's really strong. And so I'm like, oh, I gotta smell this. So I walk up to the bottle and I go up and I take a big sniff, and instantly I took in too much and it absolutely burned my nose. It was such a dumb decision to make, but I went over. I don't know if you remember this, but I went over and talked to you about it, and you're just, I thought it was hilarious. You said I was gonna be fine.
Yeah, I actually do remember because I bought the ammonium because we were doing a cleaning lab, and I still have that bottle of ammonia.
Holy moly.
And you know what? And what's funny is that this year, like I have some football players that like to work out,
Yeah.
and I pretty much was explained to them like, the little salts and stuff
Oh,
that
the smelling salts.
the smelling salts that they kind of smell
Yeah.
before like they lift big. I was like, that's practically is just ammonia.
Oh.
So they asked if I could give them a little bottle of it. I was like, go for it. It's just like cleaning solution that you can find. Like the one for weightlifting is like a stronger concentration
Yeah.
that really wakes you up. But yeah, that ammonium is still a reoccurring thing that people like to smell.
That's so funny.
That's awesome.
I've always wanted to try smelling salts just to see what it was like, but I don't know if I could ever just never gotten around to it.
Yeah, well, if you can, try a just cleaning solution of ammonia, and if you can handle that, and that doesn't feel bad at all, then you can progress to smelling salts.
Yeah. Just don't want to knock myself on my ass immediately.
And I think that reminds me of another story of Joey.
Oh my god,
Oh,
Joey.
no.
Oh no.
There's quite a bit of stories that just like make me shake my head, but
Yeah.
there was the ones where we were doing the eye station.
Oh.
Yeah. And I can't remember for what reason. I think that someone just bet him or something, and he was like, yeah, I want to go see, like, I want to try it out.
Oh my gosh.
And he just opened his eyelids and just holds it there for like minutes. I'm like, that's why.
Because he's Joey.
Make sure that it works, of course.
Yeah.
And I have the same thing this year. Students, like a few students wanted like try. I was like, why? Like
Oh
that
my
one.
god.
Like I don't know if you know, like or seen our water. Our water is not the best coming from the
No,
sink.
no,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not.
definitely
Oh
not.
my gosh. I wouldn't want to put that anywhere near my eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of a yeah an unnecessary trade off if you're just doing a practice it or something. But
Right.
whatever.
If you
Um,
actually needed to clean your eyes from like chemicals, it's fine.
And then that's the other question I always get. It was like, well, if it's dirty, why do we put it in our eyes? I was like, well, dirty water is better than, chemicals in your eye.
Yeah.
So,
Gosh.
one of my favorite memories was we were also back in that same room, and at some point we're doing like, oh yeah, it was the fire lab. Um,
yes.
and I loved that so much already, but we had my group had a ton of fun with that, and then afterwards you said if we finished it you'd like take us into this back room that had this basically enclosed space for burning stuff, and I just remember the best the best part of that being when you burned magnesium and it just lit up really really bright.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, and I really liked that room, right? Because I would take you to a separate room and I turned off all the lights
Yeah,
versus uh and it was kind of a surprise for everyone versus just like in the lab, right, where it's kind of a little bit, you know, dim light, so it's not as bright.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't remember because uh, did were you guys part of the class where I was teaching two classes at the same time,
Ooh. Um.
or was that the dual language students? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I was a part of the dual language for a little bit. I can't remember if I finished out that year in
Yeah.
the chemistry dual language, but I do remember being in the fire unit. Yeah, that one was fun.
Yeah.
Because there was one day, you all remember Mr. Trithui?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so there was one day where he told me that he was going to be out, and he said if I could sub for him. But,
Oh, wait a minute. No, I do remember now. I think that that's why I forgot because he wasn't there. When we came back to school, I'm pretty sure I had you for like the first half of that year, and then the second half I switched out. But we had
uh,
you sub for our class.
yeah, and so like he told me that he needed me to like sub his classes and that he would put in like a sub. Um, and well, at least that was my understanding. But when, got to the day and I was like, okay, I'm waiting for the sub. There no sub arrives.
Oh,
And I go ask like the front office, like, hey, did like just do we, call a sub in or all that? He's like, oh no, he didn't. And I'm like, oh, I think he meant that I was gonna sub for him, so I have to get a sub.
oh, yeah.
And so because we were both right in the CA building, so one class was doing a lab and another class was doing something else.
Mhm.
And so like I just pulled everyone together in the CA room, and I think that was like the worst day of work.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic.
Um, but yeah, that year was a very crazy year.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite memories from that year was not even necessarily uh, at lunch. We used to eat outside with some of my friends, and one of my friends handed me this this thing of Cheez-Its that had been like all eaten except for the crumbs, and he handed it
Mm.
to me, and I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll eat the crumbs. I made the mistake of eating that on an empty stomach, and
Ugh.
it was a lot of salt. So basically, through class, or like when I ate it, I was eating a ton of salt, without pretty much anything else in my stomach. And then I remember specifically that day we are going to be late, so I kind of rushed to class, and so I jogged a little bit. And during the class, for a solid half hour, I was just sitting there with my hands over my mouth, trying my hardest not to throw up in your class. And I had a plan and everything. I was gonna like rush over to the sink if I thought I was, but I just had to focus on my breathing because of my poor decision. Oh man, I don't remember anything. Like I don't remember learning anything that day either.
Man.
Yeah, that reminds me. There was another student who was like, I don't know. I think they ate something bad or something, and they weren't feeling well. And I was like, hey, like, do you need to step out in the hall, or wherever? And then he's like, oh, I need like the trash can. He like threw up like in the hallway luckily in the trash can and all that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, do you need to go to the main office or anything? He's like, no, I'm good. I'm ready to go back. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I was like, I guess I'll just clean up your trash can, throw up. Don't worry.
That's awesome. Kids are great.
Now, the one thing in my short-lived teaching career so far, right? I've only been doing it for 3 years. I'm going to my fourth. Really, only two because last year was
Doesn't really
online. Doesn't. But at least as of right now, your class is definitely the like best class as total, right? The 2019-2020 class students wise have just been the best students to kind of to teach.
Yeah.
Well, I tried.
I just don't know if it's just the students this year, because I don't know how you all behave this year or anything like that. Compared if you were relative the same as my students, but it was difficult.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
This year, those kids were all like freshmen, weren't they? Like before COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have any time to be better.
They had until March, and then they didn't have to deal with any sort of being in high school until September of 21.
Yeah, no, they didn't have a chance to get all of that out of their systems sophomore year before becoming upperclassmen.
Like I remember your classes and stuff. Like there'd be some behavioral problems here or there, right? Like someone would do something that was like okay, but then it'd be a pretty easy fix. Like I'd just kind of talk to them, or like even if someone's like not doing their work, I'd be like, hey, you're just not feeling good or whatever, and then next day they'd be fine or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
This year that was not the case. It was like I don't know what to do. I was like, I tried everything and still
no one was doing anything.
Still nothing. I was like,
yeah.
Or like even you guys enjoyed labs. Like labs, everyone would participate in labs.
Yeah.
Like because it was a fun type thing. For this year, I've had kids who skipped out, like the fire lab. There's kids who just like, no, I don't want to do it.
Wow, really?
Man.
Yeah. And I was like, this is like one of the funnest labs that we have. You get to light things on fire and see different colors.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how to get you to be
There's
more
no saving them.
To be more engaged.
I was like, if you're not engaged in this, like,
If not fire, then who?
yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah, it's just because I mean, definitely there's part of it that's just like that's just the mindset of having a normal high school experience and not expecting it to change, and just like something to do with that. But also a part of it is just a lack of consequence. I talked to Madame a lot about this. There are just no consequences anymore, at least at our school.
Yeah, not particularly, anyways. And you know what's funny about that is that I'm okay. So I'm not the the most awesome student, but I'm not one to get in trouble all the time. I don't try for trouble. But this last year is kind of different for me. I just basically didn't go to my last period class for the whole year,
Mm.
whether it was fourth or eighth, and I just hung out in the art room. But all the way up until like the very end, I didn't have any sort of punishment, and the punishment that I had was like a couple days in after school suspension or something like that. And that's like insane because that's like the entirety of like that's a fourth of the year I just didn't show up.
Yeah.
I was still on school grounds, but I just wasn't there, and I only got like 3 days in like detention. It's like what?
Wow, that's very interesting.
They the counselors were very awesome and understanding, and the vice principal was very cool about it because obviously I haven't done anything to get into huge trouble before, so that might have had something to do with it. But still, there are kids who like do a lot more and end up with a lot less.
Yeah. It's yeah, situation wise about that we're the way we pretty much went was like, all right, COVID hit, we're gonna be very generous and
Mm-hmm.
forgiving. And then we went with okay, forgive pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And and I
Yeah,
was like, next year, hopefully next year it shouldn't be like that at all. And I think students are gonna have a big wake up call with that.
I hope
Um,
so
Yeah.
and you know,
for
but
their sake, if anything,
yeah,
because they are not going to have a very fun time if they are. Because I don't know, that whole forgiving everything might have set a poor precedent for the younger kids who just got into high school, and so I
yeah,
feel like that might cause a little bit of trouble down the line. But I'm hoping that they will, I don't know,
yeah,
clean up something.
and for sure. And a big thing, right? Like I understand, right? There's certain circumstances and all that, but I think it's for the most part you set these hard rules,
Mm.
and then when an occasion occurs for like a special circumstance, then you look at that background information and then make your judgment. It can't be the other way around where you're just like, all right, everyone's in that special circumstance.
Right. Yeah.
Um, but that you brought up Madame, I don't know if I mentioned. I feel like I did because talking to you all felt pretty comfortable sharing those stories. But about Madame and her pop quiz. Do you
I
remember?
don't remember that. For reference, Madame is the French teacher at our school,
Mm.
and Mr. Lopez had her when he was attending our school.
Yeah. So just a little background information. This was my senior year, and I was doing IB French 4, and it was a mixed class with IB French 3
Mm-hmm.
to fill up a full class.
Mm.
And we, as IB French 4, knew Madame very well and knew well of her expectations. She very told us that we are not like average, we should be excelling,
Mm-hmm.
right? Pushing to be better.
Yeah.
And that year, the principal decided, which I think was, right intention, to celebrate people having what GPA of I think 2.5,
Mm.
which is average of C's, I believe.
Wouldn't
Sounds
that be
right.
a C minus? Oh wait,
Or
Average across the
average.
board
Because
is
it's
C average 2.5. Because a B
well,
average would be 3.0, wouldn't it?
yeah, I think so.
So then, yeah, it would probably be like a C average.
huh.
Yeah. Well, whatever the case may be, whatever the average for like C's were,
Hmm.
and they were able to pretty much get the day off, right? They were able to go to like a skate world back when skate world existed.
I miss
Yeah.
that place.
R.I.P. Rest in peace.
And so on that day though, we had French. And all of us seniors knew, well, we can't go to skate world because we have French.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, French is not one that you can just skip. And
Right.
so pretty much I think most, if not all, the seniors showed up, and a few juniors showed up. And that did not sit well with Madame because she was like, they're celebrating being average.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like if you're okay with being, you know, an average student, then yeah, go ahead. But if you're in my class, you're especially going to French 3 and French 4, you should not be an average student. You should be above. And so she decided to just give us a quiz that day that we could, you know, pretty much pass. And then students showed up like the next class. They're like, oh, there was a quiz. And she was like, yep, you can't retake it. You can't do anything. You missed it. You should have been in class. And I was like, damn. But that's why.
Blooded.
That's
I love
cool.
it.
That's why I love Madame.
Yeah, this year I was part of the IB French 4 class. We had
pretty awesome.
6 people in the IB class, and it was conjoined again with the third years, but there were 6 third years. So it was 12 people for 2 classes. And yeah, we had a very interesting time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this many times, but I have a very bad memory when it comes to names. Like I recognize faces, like pretty well. Like if I see your face, hey, like I know you. What?
Right.
I think because it was my first year teaching, I think I got to know all your names like fully by, let's see, September. I would say November. I would know your whole name.
Especially considering first year as a teacher, like, I don't know, I feel like if you go over time as a teacher, it takes you less and less time to be able to, like, call students by name and be able to recognize them by both face and name. But it was your first year teaching, so I don't blame you at all.
Well, even now, it still takes me about that much time.
I can't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning, let alone names to faces.
And the hard part is the only way like I know your name pretty well is because like if you're showing up to class, right, or like I see you frequently, and you know in my head I go, hey, you're this person, you're that person.
Right.
But if you're not there, or I stop because you're not in my class anymore, and like I don't see you that frequently, it's very hard for me to remember like your names. For the most part, like there's only a few students that like kind of stay engraved here or there.
Yeah.
Right, because of memories, but like I think quite a bit of students, right, still go, hey, Mr. Lopez, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but like I'll be like, oh, hey, and then I was like, I think I know them, or I have like no idea who they are.
That's the problem with being an icon around the school is that everyone will just be like, oh, hey, what's up, Mr. Lopez, and you're like, oh, do I know them?
Yeah.
Shoot.
I was like, should I know them? Or are they a former student? Are they a current student? Or are they a person they've heard from me? I'm like, oh man. So it's getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
And then also it didn't help, right? With COVID, I didn't to see you guys all junior year.
That's true.
So like some of you like grew and changed, and then I was like you look familiar, but I was like, I can't tell if it's the same person or not.
Yeah.
So that was an adjustment.
It's usually that junior year that everyone changes from being a child to an adult.
Yeah. I was looking through the yearbook for this year, and it
Oh God,
both
I
the
fucking hate
freshmen,
the yearbook. It's
both
so
the,
stupid.
both the freshmen and the sophomores just look like babies, man.
Yeah, they didn't even ask me for a photo, dude. They just used my sophomore photo. It's messed up. They did me dirty. They didn't even get my quote right, and I don't even remember giving them a quote. It's like completely improper grammar. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't remember telling them anything to write down, so I don't know where they would have gotten that. It's like, what are you doing?
Our
People are
yearbook,
gonna have to remember me like this.
our yearbook has tons of typos. There are people and staff that weren't in their photos weren't in there. Um, the, it, there are just so many typos, and it was like
They really
they
didn't
needed
do
to
any
have a
revising.
proofreader.
They did
Oh,
not edit it properly.
yeah. There was a lot of things. Like I think I don't know if you saw the like marching band.
I can't remember
I
that in
don't. I
particular.
don't think I did. Hold on, let me get it out.
Yeah, I've mine. I've
It's on
mine
the
right here.
shelf. Yeah, me too. Marching band. Let's see. Uh,
Um,
not this one. Oh. Damn, where's the directory?
while we're looking for
Life school.
um,
No, it'd probably be.
in my in my experience, the biggest thing that I found was they took a survey of some people to find um, like what kind of genres that the school population listens to, and of course they didn't sample like
Anybody
nearly
who
as many
is
people as
normal.
they should. But
Hmm.
when they posted like, I mean, in the yearbook when they said like how many people like listen to what, it wasn't in numerical order of percentage highest to lowest or lowest to highest.
Oh my gosh.
And aside from that, it was like percent sign like 39%, percent sign 28, all these. And then the last two, there weren't any percent signs, and not only that, it wasn't arranged in numerical order, and it wasn't arranged in alphabetical order in the list of like genre by
There's
alphabetical
no
order
order
either.
to the way that they were in order, other than that they were in order.
Yes.
Man, they really shot for bare minimum. Still managed to fall short.
Yeah, but if you look at the
Let's see. What page is that on? I can't find it in the table of contents. Doesn't have it. Surprise, surprise.
or I think it's just I think
Oh, I
it's
found a picture of Noah immediately. That's funny. Oh man.
um,
It's got to be in the.
but
Oh
it,
man.
it seems like they just did a lot of copying and pasting because like
Yeah.
the format of that just seems like they did a questions or Google Forms where they just started putting in answers, and then once they got the answers they just copied and pasted and didn't think of
Didn't
format
check.
it.
Yeah, no, they did not.
Yeah.
They really didn't. They really just filled in a survey. No grammatical adjustment, just completely filling in blanks.
And then, well, while you're still looking for it, you mentioned like the pictures like not being in there. You know what's still messed up on the Hill High website? The picture of me is still not up.
Really?
Yeah, I
You
have no
serious?
picture under like I was like my first year I was like okay like I'm a new teacher they just kind of have my name, that's
Uh-huh.
fine.
Yeah.
And then I was like second year was like okay COVID I guess they're probably just not updating it.
Mhm.
They're but this third year I was like all right I think they should put in at least a picture.
Dude,
Nope.
that is messed up.
And I was like all these new teachers and all these people who've been here, less of the time have pictures. I'm like
Man,
what is this?
this is messed up. That's what that is.
What am I
Where
looking
the hell
for
is the
again?
marching band? We're
Oh,
looking for marching band. It's
I
not in
forgot.
here. It doesn't exist. I can't believe it's real. It's not on the freaking not on the index. Not on any of this. It's not real.
That's great.
What is going on?
Marching band.
How can they just? I don't even understand why they.
Sports.
If they weren't gonna do the best they could, I mean, this is gonna be what people look back on to remember their time in high school. They couldn't push anything out, then they should have just not done it. Like now I have to look back and be like, oh, that's what I looked like in my senior year. No, it's not. And some people don't even get to see a photo.
I've given up on looking for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep looking because it has to be real. It has to.
But the big mistake, I was like, I think this was like what a lot of people pointed out, is that they used the Glencoe marching band.
Oh my
logo.
god, yeah, that's right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. They really just didn't get it. Man. They really tried, though.
But another
Whole page of fucking ads.
Yeah. They did.
Two whole pages of ads. What? How the hell did they get funding for this?
Mr. Lopez, do you have a story?
Oh, another big thing that just kind of popped in my head that I remember, because it made it a reappearance this year, is memes.
Oh no,
yeah.
not that one. Oh god, I went past that one. It's so cringy.
I'm seeing all the memes, and some students are like, oh, finding old pictures of me and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god. Are you gonna lecture? Because I don't remember asking.
Wait, is he in the yearbook? Oh man, it would be so amazing
if your photo is in the yearbook but not on the website, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Like, how the hell can you get it so wrong? Oh wait, here it is.
Wait,
maybe
memes?
is this it? Yeah, it is. It's the page on Our Talent. They don't even have their own page.
What page
it's
is
just,
it?
It's 43. It's not even like the band doesn't have their own thing. It's under the teachers like Our Talent. What?
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't. It's not like in a sports section. It's like what? It's like got a whole just one page. And oh my god, they have the. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with them, man? They got away with a lot.
Yeah.
Far
That's
too
okay.
much. Who was supposed to be revising this?
Oh, who knows?
Clearly nobody.
During online, me and some of my friends one day decided to look up Mr. Lopez on Google to see if we could find any pictures of him. And so we did, and there's just there are just a few that we decided to make into a meme. I think I might show it if I can find it.
That'd be pretty funny.
Which one?
There's my quote.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. Oh my
There are a
god.
couple.
There were a couple.
What was
on
the
page
quote,
50.
JD?
It's have to be making a graphic novel based on a story of my own design. Like what? Huh? Oh god, it's just so it doesn't make any sense. I don't even know.
And then, oh man.
And they had a photo of me that they took, but they didn't use that for my photo.
At one point during sophomore year, Mr. Lopez, during 2020, you did this thing of like, if people did their work or something to do with like a point system or whatever, then you would like do these increasing amount of things to try and get us to do work, which I thought was hilarious and a little bit sad. And one of the things was the oh wait, was that for something else? The stand up that you did, was
Oh,
that for
the
that or something
the
else?
the stand up was for the talent show.
Oh
Right. You did
right,
stand up for the talent show.
Yeah.
That was funny.
awesome. And so we took a screenshot from that recording of you two, and we made that into a meme. I can't remember what it says,
Oh my gosh.
but I hope you know it's purely out of like kindness and respect out of our hearts to make a meme out of you to try
All
and
right,
like
I'm done looking at
immortalize you.
that. Disappointing.
Yeah, and I enjoy it. Like I remember what Anders, I think it was Anders and them
Yeah.
made a meme, right? The ion
Yeah. Are you an electron?
jokes.
Because I don't remember asking.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of different variations.
Yeah. This pic
Um,
goes hard. Feel free to screenshot.
yep, because that's the one that reappeared this year.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yes, it's in
I
circulate.
remember
We
that.
did it.
I want to see if I have it on my phone.
We did
And
it.
like students were like showing me, and I was like, "Yep,
That's
that's me."
me.
Um, uh,
Oh, man.
Phil, and then going off pictures, the I don't know if you remember the profile that people found of me
Oh, right.
at
Yeah.
Yeah.
college. It made a reappearance this year as well.
Oh, man.
Because apparently, and so I'll just kind of it's was my Tinder profile from when I was in college.
Yeah.
And right as a recently graduating college, I just forgot to really,
Yeah.
delete
forgot
it. Uh, and me, like, oh well, like as a high school student, I don't remember being on Tinder. I don't remember
Right.
looking at that type of stuff. I was like, what's the
Yeah.
point? But
Children are
times
different.
have changed, yeah. So I had that, and a few students, started mentioning things off the profile, like, oh, like,
Oh
do you
my
like
gosh.
Kid Cudi? And it's like, oh, do you like this song? And I was like, and once they started saying like those few things, I was like,
Uh-oh.
they know something.
Why are they bringing this up?
Um, yeah, and so after that incident, I thought I deleted it. I thought it was is done.
No.
This year, somehow, some way, like they found it again somehow, and they were like, this year it wasn't as bad because I think it's like it was the same profile from like 2-3 years ago.
Mm.
But they brought it up and they were like trying to say stuff. I was like, look at the age that it says. I was like, it says I'm like 23. I was like, I'm 25 now. I was like, that's just an old thing. But
2 years.
yeah, I was like, I still remember that, and it still kept brought up.
Man, people really just be digging up old shit.
Man. Oh, back
But
to.
Man, I can't find it anywhere. I swear I had one. Oh no, wait, never mind. It's one of Matsuo.
mm,
It's perfect.
I gotta
Man.
I gotta say, during junior year, there was this like sort of activity time that we got if we were passing all of our classes while we were fully online, and Mr. Lopez got to host one, and it was called Science is Cool, and it was the best part about online school. And we just kind of hung out, played some games, and eventually he started to teach us thermodynamics a little bit. But at that point that we actually were able to start, then it just got shut down for some reason. And they
That's messed up.
stopped doing it. And I was really I wanted to learn more chemistry, man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I almost forgot about that actually. I forgot that was just last year. Felt like that was this year.
Two
But
years ago.
Can't be no fun no more.
Because technically, because technically, there's like, yeah, because
Yeah, because it's the summer.
2020 to 21 ended, and 21 to 22 ended. But that's just splitting hairs. Um, but yeah, my favorite subject that you taught was always nuclear, and I had a lot of fun just like going over like the reaction process of like nuclear stuff and talking about nuclear reactors and all that.
Yeah, that's still one of my. I'm not the biggest fan of learning all the nitty gritty of nuclear chemistry. I like just the general idea of it,
Mm.
because it does really bring up a lot of great discussions.
Yeah.
Um, right, like just the development of nuclear stuff. Right, there's so much potential positives, but at the
Hmm.
same time, so much potential negatives that can happen, and and deciding, and how do we decide which way, do we keep progressing and potentially discover the, greatest, nuclear energy renewal process, or a new way to, cure
Send us back to
cancer,
the Stone Age.
or find something that will send us back to the Stone Age, right? With
Yeah.
um right, because like the
Yeah, they do the splody.
yeah, um like I always like to mention the scientist who pretty much uh created the nuclear bomb. His original intention wasn't for a bomb; it was to find a new source of energy.
Hmm.
But other people had other plans, and
They
well,
decided, I want to use this to mess with people a little bit.
well,
The Manhattan Project really went, let's use it to kill a
It's
bunch of people.
it's called we do a little bit of trolling.
um, but yeah, I remember at one point in the year when we were back in that CA classroom, you had us like get a bunch of papers that you just like spread out across the table and just like had us like research the topic of like nuclear fuel and whether it's like a good thing or not.
yeah.
I enjoyed that.
And I tried doing something similar this year, where I gave them topics to research, and then I was gonna at the end, uh, gonna have, okay, you looked at all these presentations that people presented about positives and negatives, um,
With like a
and
class vote.
exactly, kind of a class vote after seeing a bunch of presentations, like like there was a presentation about uh like the Bikini Islands,
Mm.
Mm, right.
and and how nuclear stuff has, had effects on people and culture, right? Like SpongeBob, Bikini Bottom, Bikini Islands.
Right.
Like the idea is like it's based off nuclear radiation, and that's how they got there.
That's where they got the idea?
Man,
Like
it's fascinating.
potentially, um, right,
Hmm.
and that's why you see like a whole bunch of, a sponge who can actually speak because they got,
Right.
and all that.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's why a lot of the buildings are like old car parts.
Yeah, who knew? In order to um, create new life from inanimate objects, you just need radiation, water, and a sponge.
Just drop a whole bunch of bombs on stuff and see what happens.
Why not? It's the world's best science experiment.
It's not like it could leave the testing area. It's not possible. Nothing ever went wrong in a somewhat not very well contained environment.
I always like
Yeah.
doing a lot of research on like Chernobyl and just like how
Mm.
drastic things would have been if it weren't for the liquidators that like stop the flow of basically a bunch of radioactive material into like this giant pool of water that was under Ukraine
Mm.
that would have like exploded again and like made pretty much all of Europe in uninhabitable for an extremely long time.
That would have been a massive L.
Yeah.
Good thing it didn't happen.
And the right, like the one thing that's pretty interesting with like nuclear, right? The
Mm.
good and bad are very similar process.
Yeah.
Like I was watching a documentary, right? Like they were barely kind of introducing nuclear energy, and I think it was in England, I believe, or in the UK,
Close.
somewhere in the UK, where they pretty much said that they were gonna make a nuclear power plant,
Yeah.
and it was gonna be used for energy,
Uh-huh.
which was partially true, but like later they found out that I think it was like 70% or somewhere around 70 to 80%, I think, of the uranium was actually, and the process that they were making the uranium, or refining the uranium, was used for nuclear weapons and not for
Yikes.
actual thing.
Kind of cringe.
And that just kind of shows like how, though, like it could look great and it could be the same process, but just one simple thing, right, can change
And then you got
everything.
weapons grade titanium or uranium.
Yeah.
Because yeah, from what I understand, a lot of the time with nuclear reactors, they tend to use uranium as the reactive element, and so all you'd have to do is for the reactor they have these rods of
Mm.
your that they
Uranium.
use as a core to start the reaction,
Yeah.
and all they'd have to do is make those rods and then just not use them for the plant and just ship them off elsewhere.
Yeah. This isn't it something like the rods are put into the water is heated up and causes steam to spin a turbine?
Uh,
Um,
Snow.
yeah, it's pretty much in that sense, right?
Okay.
I
Where
I thought that was sorry. Go ahead.
right, where they have these control rods, right? So
Hmm.
they start like this initial reaction where they put the rods of uranium, and that shoots out, like the uranium kind of breaks up, and that process
Mm.
is fission, right? And
Right.
that process is what's warming up and releases heat. Um,
Right.
but
You,
you were saying, Tenzin?
I thought that the use so from my understanding the use of the water is just to cool it down to make sure to slow the reaction process so it doesn't hit a nuclear point where it doesn't explode, and just the turbine process of it, while it is another way to produce energy, it's like a sub feature of it, whereas the main point is to just heat up the water so that it can take it can make sure that it doesn't overheat, and then it turns into steam and then it cools back down, and just repeats that process.
So the
Um,
initial use of the nuclear power plant is to get the energy from the reaction between the uranium,
From
and then the water is a byproduct, or the
I
water's steam is a byproduct
I,
of cooling it off.
I could be wrong. Can you confirm, Mr. Lopez?
yeah, so the way I understood it, and there might be a variation of that sense, but so there's these, right, uranium
Hmm.
that shoots out neutrons,
Mm.
right? And then that neutron gets into other uraniums, right? And that creates a chain reaction. It just keeps going and
Right.
going and going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you let that go uncontrolled, right, it starts building up too much heat.
Mm.
So the way they slow it down is by adding control rods, pretty much these rods that absorb neutrons.
Oh.
So they can change uh, the control rod. So if you put them more into the water, right, it slows the process down because less neutrons in the water, meaning less reactions. You
Right.
take them out, more neutrons of the water, more reaction.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
and so that's kind of right. That's the process of how they can kind of control how much heat and process is going on.
That makes sense.
So,
The rods are what slows the process. The water is there to kind of uh, house the process of the uranium spreading the neutrons.
Hmm.
Okay.
oh, right.
And the
And
control rods are introduced to slow the process of those neutrons going around.
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, I don't know. Would you have any idea as to why, um, for um, the little boy bomb that was
Mm,
dropped in Japan, why they used specifically um, element isotope 235 of uranium instead of just like, do you know why that specific isotope instead of like some other isotope, or just like, non-isotopic uranium?
Well, for fission to occur, right, it has to be unstable.
mm,
So
yeah.
there's stable technically, right? After
Mhm.
uranium is radioactive, it becomes stable.
Depleted.
Yeah. So you want something that's radioactive and is able to start that fission process. Because if you have the wrong uranium, you drop it, nothing's gonna occur.
Then you kind of just look like a big dummy.
So wouldn't that just be a problem of making sure, because
Was used
uranium
because
is
it's just
already
an
an
unstable
unstable
isotope?
element, so I'm just
Is it
I'm just
because it was?
curious as to like,
Mm,
is it just because it's more unstable and can start that reaction more easily with the neutron?
So I guess it also probably depends. I haven't looked at what. Let me see. Let's see what the fission products are, because that might be the other thing is
mm,
that if they're trying to create a bomb, and ideally if they're thinking of the after effects,
mm,
right? Because after it breaks apart, it's going to
right.
make byproducts. And so depending on how much you start with, right, uranium 235 versus uranium 236 or 238
Right.
are going to break up differently.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Um,
Different elements being created in the fallout.
exactly. So if let's see, let me just see what if there's really any.
So, were they just like hydrogen bombs dropped, and then the nuclear element was added to put a lasting effect from the bomb, or was
No,
this
the
was
reaction process happens entirely because of the
okay?
of the uranium.
I've never really had a full grasp on how those work.
Hydrogen bombs came after.
Okay,
So the
yeah.
Manhattan Project was was like a secret thing, um, that only the U.S. knew about, and eventually the USSR, because they spied on them. But
Yeah.
um, the Manhattan Project developed the first nuclear bombs, and at first, the bombs dropped on Japan were
Uh-huh.
the little boy and the fat man,
Yeah.
and for the little boy it was uranium 235, and then for the fat boy they used or fat man they used plutonium instead, and it created a bigger explosion.
Ah, I see.
So yeah, that's it.
Very
And then
interesting.
after that, after the war ended, started the nuclear arms race between the USSR and the United States, and
AKA the Cold War.
Ah,
sort
That whole
of.
period of time.
But I mean, they agreed to stop nuclear weapons development, like sort of basically halfway into the war.
Mm,
War, quote in quotes. Um,
right.
all right, I think I found your answer.
yeah,
Um,
go.
so the problem is with uh, are the majority of uranium 238,
Mm,
right, is well, uranium is uranium 238. But
yeah.
the problem with it is that it's what's called um fissions too fast, right? So it
Mm.
breaks apart. It's not very stable.
Hmm.
Versus uranium 235 is a little bit more stable, and then you can just add the extra couple neutrons to get it to become uranium 238, and that's
Okay.
what starts it.
So
I
it's
see.
easier to transport as 235, and then the process of the bomb being dropped or going off is when it becomes 238 and the reaction starts.
That's
Yeah, that's
fascinating.
based
Hmm.
off. Yeah. So that's why the uranium enrichment, right? That whole
Right.
process. So that's why
Oh.
even in nuclear power plants, that's kind of what you're doing, right? You're enriching
Oh.
uranium 235.
Okay.
That's fascinating.
Um,
So I remember hearing sometime recently, maybe within the last like half a year, about power plants like researching into using thorium. What specifically like what reasons would there be to do that? Like what does it do specifically differently?
thorium.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't really heard too much of thorium. Let me get a quick
Oh, you're a high school
background.
chemistry teacher. Know your periodic
Come on,
table,
man.
man.
You don't even know
Well,
thorium? Come on.
I know thorium. I know, but I haven't heard it as being used as.
Or they were looking into using it to do I know is something to produce power on the nuclear end of things because I know that it is a very
The only thing that, right,
radioactive.
like because it is a radioactive element.
Yeah.
My only guess would be that it's probably more abundant.
Mm,
Um, it's probably not as radioactive as a uranium, so you'd probably like need a lot more of it.
right.
And it probably also doesn't, right, because it's not so radioactive, right? You can store it in
Oh yeah.
better places than uranium. Uh,
Hmm. That would make sense.
Hmm.
that would be my best guess about that. But I haven't
Interesting.
heard like what would make it more or
Why
less.
they would be doing research into doing that instead.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like I said, all I know is it's definitely less radioactive than uranium.
Hmm.
Um, so but it's more abundant, and so like that would be probably the reasons in a sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Any
Now,
other?
um, in your class, did I ever talk about making meth? I feel like I did, but I can't.
Uh,
I,
I don't
I,
recall.
I can't recall either, but I do remember asking you questions about it.
If
Like,
you did, I probably wasn't in your class at that time. I probably that was like probably towards the end of the that year.
Um, yeah, because so right, like students ask me quite a bit about math
Making
because
meth.
of Breaking Bad and all that.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think I've mentioned it with you guys. I was like, it's not hard. It's
Right.
something that you learn, in organic chemistry, at least
Yeah.
the reaction type.
Hmm.
And this year, what I did, I just kind of showed them the two actual chemical structures, right? Like you're
Oh.
starting what you start with and how you
Right.
end with.
Nothing in
Eh,
between.
Nothing in
oh, I
between,
see.
and how to
Hmm.
get from A to B.
Right.
So, do you know what you start with to make meth?
Uh. Rem.
Ooh. I believe,
All I can
part of
remember is
it
the
was.
scene where he messes with those guys, where he like puts red phosphorus in there to
Yeah,
gas him out of the van. But I can't remember any of the actual part.
that is red phosphorus.
It starts with
Yeah,
Su,
Oh,
pseudo.
pseudometaphone.
yeah, or Sudafed, yeah, pretty much
Pseudometaphone. Yeah.
pseudometaphone, yeah, which is the same. So if you look up, right,
Hmm.
Sudafed structure,
Ooh.
I'll make a note to like show this on the screen.
Okay.
Sudafed structure. Oh, yeah.
So you see it looks right, like you see a little.
C10H15, no.
Yeah, so look at the actual structure, like the actual
All
picture.
right,
You'll see kind of
looking.
like a hexagon,
Yeah.
kind of like a M with like,
Mm-hmm.
right, and then you see an OH.
Yeah.
Okay. The only difference between that and meth is that OH disappears.
Oh. So it's the process of breaking that chemical bond.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which is
Sorry,
not. I'm not going to tell you
oh
how.
my gosh. I'm looking at I looked up the Sudafed chemical structure, and one of the photos for the suggestions is the chemical structure for methamphetamine. So it's just immediately, oh, okay. But in this one, it shows that instead of it being removing the OH, it looks like it just removed the O.
Oh, so pretty much you get rid of the OH, and it
Uh-huh.
turns into an H.
Oh, okay. Naturally, it just does.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
needs to be filled in with something.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense.
That really
And-
doesn't look like a hard process.
It's probably a lot harder than you'd think, considering that it doesn't look like a normal
Um,
bond on the.
well, it's
thing.
still a normal bond. That just shows
Right.
direction because
Okay.
you gotta think of 3 dimensions. So that just means it's pointed away from you versus the black line kind of tells you it's pointed towards you.
Okay, that makes sense. So that one's just off on the opposite direction.
I love the
Exactly.
I love the chemical
But
bonds.
the process is not very difficult.
Mhm.
The hard part is getting the chemicals, pure chemicals, to make the reaction to happen.
Right.
Right? Because a lot of people who make it are using common household items and stuff that they can get, so it's not being,
It's
traced and all that.
It's extremely
Right.
impure.
So like Sudafed though, for example, like right, you have to get that over the counter type stuff, prescriptions, all that. That's the only real pure thing that they start with. The other stuff that they mix with it isn't so pure, so they have to add some extra steps, hopefully, right, in order to get rid of those contaminants.
Trying
If
to
they
refine
don't,
it.
then you get
Shit.
yeah, or right, potential things and that's part of the reason why there's a lot of meth deaths and stuff.
Because they have a whole bunch of impurities in it, causing unknown side effects.
Exactly. But like the process, if you just have the chemicals you need and like it's very easy to make.
It's getting rid of the OH is the easy part. It's all the shit afterwards trying to clean it up.
Yeah. But if you know what you're mixing in, once again, like if you have the knowledge of what you mixed in and what's in there, you can start separating it and
Hopefully make clear meth.
yeah.
Crystal clear.
Yeah.
I do
Why
have a question.
why was it blue again?
Because of
It was because of the
something that they decided to use.
they used a specific because they couldn't get their hands on Sudafed, and so they ended up using the like barrels full of something. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I would have to go watch again and see what was their
Right.
use. My only thing was like it was some form of dissolvent or solvent that they were using that was blue.
Yeah, I'd
Right.
have to watch. I mean, I watched that episode. That
Oh,
particular
methylamine.
episode. Oh, I watched
Right?
that episode. I think so.
Yeah.
On the train back from Minneapolis.
Yeah, in the barrel.
But that's fascinating.
CH3 NH2.
I do have a question though. Like, so there's the thing about like meth lab explosions. Do they actually happen, and why?
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely would happen, especially if you're not careful.
Especially if you're stupid.
And
To make meth.
the I can't give you too much details about why it would happen.
Yeah, of course.
Because then I would be giving you hints towards what they're using.
Right, yeah, no.
All I can say it's the things that they're using are when it reacts,
Combusted.
it produces hydrogen gas.
Okay, that makes
And
sense.
so if you're not careful, right, if you're not ventilating correctly and stuff like that, or you have too close to the ignition source, blah blah blah,
Left open
right?
flame.
Hydrogen gas is very
Yeah,
flammable.
it's not big fan of the fire.
So,
Awesome.
but yeah, that definitely can happen, because hydrogen gas is produced.
Yeah, it's it happens.
That
Part
is
of the
awesome.
job.
Um, yeah. Oh, any more
I
stories?
probably should stop looking these things up just in case they want to put me on a list.
I've looked up enough like, I think it's super interesting. I was told at a certain point, once you start like taking chemistry, they have to put you on like a watch list
Right,
because
because you have access to chemicals that can be used in illegal activities.
because in order to not like die, you have to know how to make explosives so that you know what not to do.
Right, you have to know how to do the bad thing in order to avoid doing it.
Precisely.
Yeah, even like simple little things can lead to a lot of disastrous things, like right.
Potassium.
Well, even just like diluting acid,
Mm,
right? Which is mixture of acid and water. Right?
yeah,
There's a certain order that you're supposed to go, and you're not supposed to go the other way,
because the
right?
other way does a big no-no.
Yeah. So like, right? Do you add the water first or the acid first? And the way that you're supposed to is acid first, water second.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, right, it's a
Right.
very exothermic reaction with
Oh
water.
yeah,
So
it's so easy. Sorry.
but yeah, I think like a student asked me this year, I was like, could you, if you wanted to, could you like make do a like a meth lab, like have your own meth lab and like sell meth if you wanted to? I was like, yeah, like I could if I wanted to, but I was like, I think the hard part is
Walter read it for
getting,
everyone.
well, like getting all the materials, because me as a teacher, I have access to buying those things.
Right, but then the school would see you buying those things.
Exactly, right. It would be a way. I'm not in the process of knowing how to get that
Oh
off
yeah.
of
The
yet.
Yeah.
I have ideas. I have ideas.
All right, now it's time to never post this podcast episode. So okay, so what are we talking? What are we talking?
Don't worry. It's unlisted. Only people, only select
Damn it!
people.
Shit.
I don't think there are any narcs who I would show the podcast to.
Yeah,
but
nobody.
Yeah, quite a fun way. See, this is why I like chemistry so much, is because you have such
Definitely
an easy
not building
time
a
getting
pipe
to
bomb, guys.
such
Smile.
fun topics. And I'm really excited. I was talking to JD about this earlier today. I'm planning on going into psychology in college in the fall. And one of my most, like, aside from just being able to take psychology classes, what's really cool to me is that part of the degree requirements is taking a lab of the natural sciences. And so I saw that and I was like, ooh, I get to do chemistry labs.
Math.
Not math.
What? Huh? Sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yes. But yeah, I'm really excited to get back to learning chemistry in a classroom setting instead of just like on my free time on Google and YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, and the wonderful thing about science is, and I really don't think you really get that at the high school level, and some people barely get it at the college level. But when you combine like all the sciences together and they all kind of click together, that's when it becomes really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like psychology.
Right.
Psychology is it can be tied in very well with
Chemistry.
chemistry
Yes.
How the
because then you
chemicals in your brain work to make you think the way you do.
exactly um, how things are perceived, right? Like even like I didn't like in college when I was taking uh, geology.
Mm.
Like geology wasn't fun because
Yeah,
to
geology
me,
is famously
yeah,
not really appreciated around here.
because in my head, geology was like, oh, look at this rock.
Damn rockheads.
Look at this rock. It was made here or there, or this and out. But with chemistry, you get to understand why does it look that way.
Mm. There's volcanic. There's
Um, like a good example is salt.
right.
Right, salt is a cube,
Yeah, one of the
and
few natural ones. Right.
no matter how you break it, it will always be a cube. You can go to a microscopic scale, and it'll still be a little cube.
Cubing
Um,
it up.
Awesome.
and that's just the way it stacks together.
It just stacks that way.
Volcanoes, lava.
Yeah.
It's all based off how much silicon it has.
They got
Really?
waves.
Uh
I never knew
Silicon.
that.
huh. Technically silicon dioxide, but
Right.
it's based off Si. And the reason why is because, right, that's why we've kind of talked about. I don't know if you've learned about potentially different forms of life that aren't based off carbon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of them would
Right.
be silicon. Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
reason why is because it behaves very similar to carbon in a sense.
Sure.
It likes pairing itself with itself, right? Like carbons like to hooking up with carbons and multiple around it. Silicon is the same way. So
That's
with
creating multi-celled organisms.
yeah, and kind of lava is kind of a good explanation or visual of that. Like
You telling me lava's living?
well, if you look at like the Hawaii Islands, right, it's very liquidy lava because there's not a lot of silicon in that lava, so it's very, not
Mm.
viscous.
So the lava living under the ground.
But
Sorry, I probably sound really really unhinged right now. I did
you,
not.
you add a lot of great commentary to it, to spice up the podcast a little.
I'm sure it isn't my job.
Absolutely.
And versus like here, right, there's a lot of rock stuff, so as the lava keeps going, it picks up a lot of silicon, which makes it more viscous and sticky.
Mm.
And that's why it
Right.
gets clumped together. And so like the idea of that, right, is hey, with more silicon, it starts allowing it to stick together, and that is kind of the basis of why we think silicon can be another basis of life.
So
That's
so
fascinating.
then couldn't people use silicon to stop the flow of lava?
Yeah.
So wait, like kind of like how like forest fire crews pour that giant batch of the fire retardant onto the fires. You could basically do the same with like silicon with a volcano to prevent it from spreading too far.
Yeah, you could.
Do
If
they?
you had enough silicon, you would add it around there or at least slow it down, right? So you have
Too
time
bad
to
we have a
evacuate.
shortage.
Do we have a
Yeah.
shortage?
There is a shortage, and that's why a lot of graphics cards are getting super expensive because the silicon that they use in it is, and the board, like the circuit boards, I think.
I never knew that.
And so yeah, the Silicon Valley is running out of silicon.
Yeah. Well, you've probably seen all the new businesses pretty much, like,
Yeah.
right? Like, well, they always change their name.
Hmm.
Before it was like FEI, now I think it's like TriQuint or something.
Hmm.
But all of those pretty much over there by like the Hillsborough Library, they're all
Right.
silicon based companies.
Huh.
Man, they come up here stealing our silicon.
Um, yeah. Oh, I had something on my mind.
What's it doing on there? Get it out here.
Oh man. Yeah.
Silicon-based life forms. Somewhere around
Something
there.
kind of similar.
What other things could life be based on?
Space. I don't know.
Space. True. True.
Space.
But like, yeah. No. That's true. Anything else?
No, you couldn't think of it.
No.
No.
Or we'll see if it comes
Circle
back to you.
back.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No worries.
Don't
No.
feel free to interrupt.
The one thing that I was now I wanted to get done with all of you that I never got to
Hmm.
was to show you how different acids reacted to the body.
Right.
Oh.
And I never got to that, so because
Hydrochloric in the bathtub.
right when you think of acids, right, you just think all acids are the same, or for the most part, generally.
Far from it.
Nope. Yeah. No. That's
Uh,
wrong.
so I wanted to show that, hey, if you wanted to dissolve a body or something, you can't just put any acid on there. It has to be a specific type of acid. Right? Because if you put like hydrochloric acid,
It eats through ceramic.
uh, yeah, and so like hydrochloric, it kills cells.
Mm-hmm.
It does very good job at killing cells, but it's not a very good at like dissolving.
Right. Okay. So it'd be good at like it's more good at like a poison, like it kills the cells, but then it's just like they're just there.
Yeah, so like there was an experiment that I want to do as I want to dip like chicken drums
Mm-hmm.
into different acids and just leave them out there, throughout the week or so you can see. Uh, and so like hydrochloric would change it into like a green color.
Because it's dead.
Yeah. Uh,
Fascinating.
and right there's
So hypothetically, what would be the best acid to dissolve a body?
uh it would be either
I mean,
wait,
dissolve
hold on,
organic
hold on.
matter.
Think about this.
hydrofluoric or
Hydro.
sulfuric acid.
Okay, yeah. Sulfuric is the one that I've. Oh, I mean, sorry, what?
I love ingesting me some sulfur.
I love sulfur and brimstone.
Yeah.
Because
The stone do be on the brim.
Doesn't hydrochloric acid, like, isn't that stomach acid mostly?
yeah,
And that's why it's good at dissolving food.
Huh.
Getting all of those nutrients that keep the thing alive. And the reason it doesn't eat you is because of the lining of your stomach being very mucousy.
Oh, yeah, there's that one thing. I forget the condition that it's called, but it's like
Acid reflux.
not acid or reflux, but like fibromyalgia or something like that, where you
Oh,
have
right,
that
the one that
stomach
Mr. Beast
acid,
has.
where it's like the stomach acid like goes up to your throat, and like it kind of, and I was like, why doesn't it dissolve it? Like you should be
you
pretty
ain't dry
dead.
on the inside.
But yeah, it's like killing the cells in there partially because it's not like a full thing of hydrochloric acid. It's just some.
Right.
But that's why you can have it
layer.
and not like die, although it's extremely painful.
Because it
just
doesn't
because
eat the cells.
it's
it
just
just kills
killing them.
yeah,
So when you shed your stomach lining, as people do, it's getting rid of those dead cells.
yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
That's pretty epic.
Well, that's why, right? Like, if when you throw up,
Mm-hmm.
and it hurts your throat, and it just feels that all that, you know,
Because they're all dead.
yeah, and it kind of hurts your throat, and you kind of have like this weird, like tingling sensation or whatever.
Because it's literally killing the cells in your body on
Yeah.
the way out.
Uh-huh.
So don't throw up, kids. If you throw
Yeah.
up, you'll die on the inside.
Yeah.
Back to explosives. I think it's I think it's really interesting how like you can take like fertilizer and sugar
Oh,
and you
right.
can
Yeah,
mix
yeah,
it together and it'll
That's a pipe bomb.
I mean it's one of the many things that could be used to make a pipe bomb, but like
Pressurized.
it's just so interesting to me how like fertilizer and water could react in such an easy way.
Why is that?
So fertilizer has, right, the reason why they use fertilizer, because once again, that's just the common thing.
Right.
But if you really want to create, an efficient bomb, right, you want just the specific chemical
Mm-hmm.
compound from fertilizer.
Which
Yeah.
would be.
And that's potassium nitrate.
Ah, yes. Potassium.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's why it's so reactive.
Um,
Potassium metal is freaky, though.
and so, like, right, I talked about this one for students. This kind of was right off the bat, about how to pretty much make a smoke bomb.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
It's pretty much potassium nitrate, sugar, and some sodium bicarbonate.
That makes sense.
And right, and if you want it to be a specific color, right, then you add some dye and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But all it is just,
And then we get into pyrotechnics.
yeah. And the hard part is just getting the right amount of each thing, right? And that's the part with it, right? Because if you have too much sugar, right, it doesn't allow the ignition source of the potassium nitrate. But if you add too much potassium nitrate, then it can, explodes too fast.
Oh, so that's how they do it.
Yeah, so like the sugar is kind of a slow burn, which allows it to kind of heat up, and the sodium bicarbonate is kind of what gives it spacing.
The boom.
But there's a lot of little different things, and like I always tell people, is like to make a bomb is pretty easy.
Yeah.
To make a safe bomb, that's the hard part.
Yeah, you can make an explosion. You just gotta know how to make an explosion that won't explode you.
Exactly.
Oh man. Yeah. And then
I thought it was really cool when I don't know if you showed us that video, but it was a video of a person messing around with potassium metal safely, of course. They threw I think like a small chunk of it into a lake,
Oh yes.
and it just lit up.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy.
I think
And I'm like, we eat bananas.
I think the
Is that why is that why Sprite in your stomach with the banana does that? Because potassium?
Sprite specifically?
I don't. Well, just whatever carbonated beverage it is. I know that's the most common one from this banana and Sprite challenge or whatever the hell that stupid thing was.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna look that up.
Okay. Well, it basically what happens is they eat a banana and then they chug Sprite, and it basically for some reason it causes the banana to like foam up, and they end up throwing up because it does something like it foams up, and so it's basically just not enough space in your stomach, and so they throw up.
Yeah.
It's pretty gross, and they never really show anything obviously, but like I've wondered like what specific reason there could be for why that reacts that way, other than like I guess maybe carbonation, but why would the banana be the specific reason?
Yeah.
No, only thing I can think of is like banana has, right, that kind of like slick little type coating, and so like right, right? Because carbonation is just carbon dioxide, and
Mhm.
as it gets, it expands as it goes up, right from the bottom of your drink to the top. It slowly
Right.
expands,
Yeah.
and then it pops.
Oh
The only
yeah.
thing I can think of is like banana, some form of that, like kind of right, like if you've seen adding soap to water, right?
Yeah.
And you create a bubble.
Hmm.
That
That's
doesn't
yeah.
pop. It's pretty much, I think, creating that same idea
Oh.
where it
Hmm.
doesn't pop. It just stays in your stomach, and it just kind of
Eventually
prevents that
builds.
slick coating. Yeah,
Okay,
Interesting.
that makes
that's
sense.
that's the only thing I can kind of think of.
That does sound very likely. Hmm.
So like also like the chemical reaction between, I think it was like aluminum and like red oxidized
Oh
powder or
right.
something, and
Yeah.
you combine those at like 1 part to 3 parts.
Now we don't need to go through the steps or anything.
Whatever, it's on YouTube, I
Anyways.
don't care.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
And then you mix that together and that makes thermite.
Right, thermite. Yes, let's go into that.
um,
I love thermite.
so
Um,
yeah,
Man, they weren't lying. That napalm do be sticking to civilians.
napalm is a different thing.
I know it's different. I know. I just wanted to make a
Napalm
joke.
is also really easy to make too. You just
Yeah,
have
the
to like
styrofoam and gasoline.
yeah.
Mix it up,
Are
and then
you
you got yourself a nice sticky, flammable substance.
are you even questioning why we have this information, Mr. Lopez? Or are you just
No,
like
no. It's just interest. You're just
We know
interested
things.
individuals. You know.
Yeah, it's we wanna know how to do it so that we don't do it in the future. Like, what if I was, like, what if I had just bought a new TV and I had the box out and it was all over the place and like all that packing foam is all over the place.
Exactly. You don't want to
I
And then
accidentally mix it with your gasoline.
right, and then you're filling your car up with gas, and then oh no, I got some on my shirt somehow. Oh no, now my this sticky stuff is all over my shirt. What the heck?
let me
Huh?
just
I'm
light a
I'm really feeling like
cigarette.
a cigarette.
Man.
What the? And then they were no more because they didn't know how to make napalm.
Is there a such thing as like flames? Because it's really
Yeah, I think
interesting
there
to me
is.
that, yeah, okay, that flames don't have a shadow, and so
Hmm.
could you make a flame that doesn't like that doesn't look like basically invisible fire as
Yes.
well?
Well,
Yes.
technically, all flames are invisible.
It's just.
It all just depends on the contrast of what you're putting it next to.
Oh right, that's. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The because of the like.
Right? It's just how we perceive color. Um, so like if you right like I was showing you
All fire is just radiation.
in a sense, right? Everything that you're seeing, if not, it's just
It's not
uh
real.
like I don't know if you remember the Bunsen burners that we had, right?
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you put them up against the wall and you kind of look at it, it's pretty much gone. You don't see anything. You just see
Mhm.
kind of the little waves of air that's kind of being moved
Right.
and the heat, but for the most part, it doesn't really have color. The only reason things have color is just how we perceive it and how it bounces off and hits off light,
Mm-hmm.
or the contrast of things.
It's not a physical thing, so it can't have a shadow.
I I hate it when I see like heat waves in the air. You can't really
Yeah.
see like the waves themselves, but you can see the like distortion of the image that you're trying to look at.
No, I
And
Mhm.
see
just
them.
and I just hate that because it's like, oh man, it's way too hot out here.
And then you see the fake water.
Ah, yes.
Well, and like my friend, just reminded me. I was like, "Hey, in case you forgot, the sky doesn't exist."
Oh yeah, that's true. It's
Yeah.
just the perception, our perception of the layers of oxygen piled up on top of us underneath the ozone.
Yeah, and right, well, and then
It is
like
the ozone.
the reason right it looks blue is just the light from the Earth is diffracting,
Hmm.
and that's why
All
it
that
looks
oxygen,
blue. If not, it would have you'd see clear through,
and
and
you'd see
you see
space,
space.
and we would
Yeah.
all be dead because there wouldn't be anything keeping us from that
Because you
good
can't
old vacuum of
because
space.
you can't see a blue layer when you're looking at it from space. You can just see the water in the earth.
Yeah, because we are looking down into it, and the light isn't refracting on like to our eyes from the point of view of the oxygen. We're above all of it, so we don't see it. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Oh,
But
So
yeah.
is that how the ozone works?
I thought there was
It's
something
just
really.
the layers of oxygen.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard this thing a long time ago about like how scientists tried to create water by like just mixing um, hydrogen and dioxide together,
Uh,
and like
it didn't work.
it either didn't work or it created water that like wasn't safe for people, and they didn't know.
Was it because of the bond?
But like
well, so there, I'm pretty sure we can make water. I'm
Then why
like
don't we?
90% sure we can. Uh, the problem is it probably requires more energy than it
Uh,
is than to like make it. So you're using a lot more
mm,
versus naturally occurring.
so that's why we have to solve the power problem before we solve the water problem.
Exactly.
If we
Um,
get the unlimited power of a fusion, or like a what is that? The particle accelerator, like in where is it? Where is the particle accelerator? The big one that they're working on. There's a couple I know, but like
I don't know where it is, but I know the one that you're talking about.
yeah. And so once we get that running, and we then have infinite power, then we can solve the water problem because
all
then we
we
can make the water.
all we need is just fission batteries, so we'll be fine.
Guys, just
Yeah.
turn on the infinite water hack.
Yeah.
Come on. This is day one stuff.
But the other thing is depending on what the water is made, right? Like it's um so the water that they probably made is like pure water
Quite tasteful.
or like most likely deionized water,
Mmm.
which we use a lot for right in labs and chemistry.
Because it
Um,
doesn't react.
well, because it's right pure water,
It's not conductive, right?
and so it doesn't have other impurities,
That
and
you would
we know
always have from naturally occurring.
Mineral water.
exactly. So we right because when you want a reaction and don't want it to react with anything else like some chlorine or some salt or
You want to know
sodium or
what
whatever.
it's happening.
Exactly. So, um, naturally occurring water that we drink has those things.
Mm.
And so that's why you're not supposed to drink deionized water because, well, actually it's kind of like salt water in a sense where it makes you more thirsty.
Because it absorbs the nutrients that you already have.
Uh-huh. And so,
Ah. Okay.
so like if you made that water, you would have to add things into it
That sounds
before.
like a lot more work.
Uh, and it could be, right?
Hmm.
Just depending on how what you need kind of add.
Right. What would be the best combination of things for water that we drink?
Combination.
Like of different impurities that you're speaking of to add to pure water to make it beneficial to ingest, like to make it good to ingest.
Well, pretty much any, or the main thing, right, is like chlorine,
Hmm.
sodium.
Fluoride.
That's not, yeah, uh, small amounts. tiny.
There we go. A bit too hot in my room.
I don't know.
Turn
I'm
on the
feeling
fan.
like I want really clean teeth. Then brush.
Oh, but as long as you kind of have those just general electrolytes, so like potassium, sodium, chlorine,
Mm.
um, small amounts of those that we generally have in our bodies.
Okay. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Very, very water.
And then very water. And then I also think it's really interesting how the majority of the air that we breathe, the majority of it is what, like nitrogen, right? And then like a small part of it is oxygen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't breathe too oxygenized air because it would kill you.
Pure oxygen is poison.
Yeah. And well, now that you kind of bring that up, I think that's like one of my like favorite things. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite or most annoying type things that are brought up, right? Because like they people bring up, like, hey, an apple has this chemical or this compound
Oh,
in it.
cyanide. Apples have cyanide, so why do we eat them?
Yeah.
I hate kids.
But then, they don't realize that, well, in a chemical reaction, you can start kind of with a bunch of different things, and then it turns into something else.
Yeah. People are
Um,
silly.
so I was like, yeah, it does have that, but, it doesn't behave the same way if you
As it
leave
would on
it
its
out. Yeah. Like, right? Like, if you think about it, potassium is like a metal,
Yeah.
or, but it's in bananas. They
Right.
say don't eat bananas because it's a
Well,
metal.
not because it's metal, but because if you ate the bananas, you would die of radiation. God. I hate the people who are like, guys, if you ate enough bananas, you would die of radiation.
If you eat
Yeah.
enough anything, you're gonna die. There's always
Yeah, the radiation would kill you.
there's always like a point of like whatever you consume. There's always a point of like over nutrition or over hydration.
Yep.
No, I don't drown.
Even though
I'm
water
75% water.
even,
What's wrong with 100%?
even though water isn't supposed to be, well, then that's not a problem.
Water isn't wet, guys.
Because if you're 100% water, then you're not a sentient being.
Water's
Water.
wet.
Yeah, water is not wet.
Water makes things wet because being wet is having water on you, and therefore water is not wet because it cannot be on itself. It's just more of itself.
I had
Exactly.
a really dumb argument to prove the other way, but I kind of
Oh
forgot
my.
it.
Forgot about
water's
it.
not wet. The water's not wet.
Forgot about it.
Where do you got water on the water?
This chemist can confirm water is not wet.
Uh-huh.
And that's a
You heard it
fact.
here. Any of you out there saying that water's wet, get out of here. You're wrong. We got a chemist on our side.
Oh man.
Can't disagree with the science and the facts.
Currently you can apparently, but in this society.
We do live in a society, don't we, Mr. Lopez?
Oh, look! Would you look at the time? I gotta.
I don't want to get you canceled already, so
Episode 4. We're done. Bye.
Oh man, I missed recording podcast episodes. It's been 3 months since the last one.
Oh wow.
Well, at least your aim's getting better.
Yeah, thank you. Lightsabers, if they're gonna be made out of any element, what would they be?
Lightsabers.
Lightsabers. Just
like
because there's like a Star Wars poster in my room.
concentrated photons, it would be the method of containing it, wouldn't it?
Let's see. I think it would be somewhere in the transition metals. Most likely something like probably like platinum, palladium. Uh,
What do you think
just
kyber crystals are made of?
what crystals?
Kyber crystals, the ones that you put in the lightsaber to make it go.
Well, I feel like
What do you think the comparable element is?
that would
make
be, yeah, that would be something like, I don't know if it would be an actual crystal, but I think it'd be probably, or most likely it'd be like platinum or palladium or something like that. That would be able to eventually get to something
I
like
think
that.
start out like a flamethrower, like it's hooked up to a battery pack on your back.
So is it
like
just
Ghostbuster.
is it just because it like it could remain at such a point like that and not like why
Remaining at such a
platinum or
high
palladium?
temperature.
Exactly.
Well, so they are very good conductors,
Mmm.
right?
They do make
And
good
so
use.
they allow the flow of electrons. And so my thinking would be like palladium, platinum would be stable enough, light enough, um, kind of cheap enough where we have enough abundance where we could put in enough energy where, right, electrons can kind of flow through,
Right.
and then it would allow potential photons to shoot out. But
If money wasn't an object in this, what would be the best way to make a lightsaber, do you think?
And can I have infinite money, please?
Alexa, turn on infinite money. All right, what is it? Give us your secrets.
to make a light. The hard part is the containment of it, right?
Right, making the blade.
Yeah.
I would think it has something to do with magnets.
That would be the hardest thing to tackle because you could potentially
Magnetic field.
shoot something where it has enough like energy type, but
I think that's where the kyber crystal comes in. I think that's where the force comes in because
yeah,
like this, I feel like a lightsaber is basically just a blaster, but you're using the kyber crystal to harness the force to make it into a blade.
Huh.
yeah.
That's
So
I mean because they talk about having the whatever in your blood and it makes you a better Jedi.
Okay, well, don't worry. Next episode, I'll try and get George Lucas to talk about this.
Please,
Exactly.
please, can we please have George Lucas?
yeah, he probably knows a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'll try and email him, like, just
Dude,
to see
that'd
what
be
happens.
sick, dude. That would be sick.
He probably has an auto-response email or something, but...
Sorry, he is not accepting any invitations at the moment. Damn it! Really looking forward to learning about the kyber crystal lore.
Magnets.
Anyway, sorry.
That's an interesting
Magnets!
topic.
Yeah, magnets. What do we think of them? Do we hate them? Do we love them?
I love magnets.
What do they do?
They make it's the process of like bonding with
It isn't just electricity.
It's electrons direction.
I see.
yeah.
Yeah, so well, there's electron spin, there's up pretty much and down. So when you have them all facing a certain direction, then you create a polarized one, and then you have something else that spins the other direction.
Speaking of poles, is that why the aurora borealis is a thing? Because of the magnetic poles?
I'm actually not sure about that one.
I thought I heard. I actually, now that I think about it, I thought I heard that it's the solar radiation bouncing off of the ozone layer at just the right angle to be able to see the light, and that's like the particles bouncing off because it's hitting at an angle that isn't enough to penetrate, but not so little that it just grazes. It's like it's actually refracting off of it.
And that would be my thinking, right? Where it kind of refracts or diffracts, right? And that's how you see the different colors. And just hitting at different angles.
I think it's magic. It's Santa Claus, guys.
I love how
mean,
so much of my podcast is just like, okay, I think I heard about this thing, or I think I
well, because
like,
no one
and
wants
so we
to
don't
be blatantly wrong on a podcast.
Yeah.
No, this is
But,
how it
like-
is, and if you prove me wrong, then you suck.
We talk about things that we think we know, but don't have the time really to double check to make sure that they're true. And I think that's wonderful because, there's like an admission that it could be wrong.
Yeah, and also that gives the viewers at home a chance to look it up for themselves, and then they get a little bit of research going.
And then they figure out how to make a lightsaber, and then I get the lightsaber without none of the work.
Yeah. There's also, science, right? Like, we could be correct right now, and then in 5 years, we find out it actually wasn't that.
And then they can't say that we were wrong, haha, because we said, well, I think.
I love how the laws of physics are like especially gravity is just a theory. And you can't say it's for sure because you could drop an object and it could float up one day and it would just throw off the entire thing of the laws that are just theories that haven't been disproven yet.
All because it just felt like, I'm going up today.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people don't understand about science. It's ever learning type thing.
It's freaky.
Yeah, I mean, that's why
Cool,
some
freaky.
people that's why it's hard for some people to follow because they just some people are very resistant to change, and when science
God, one
is
day-
based off of new research to form new conclusions about something that could have already been established as true, the entire concept of that to some people is just too much. And so
That's ridiculous.
I think that's a lot of why some people kind of turn to things that are more confident about them being right and don't change about their opinion on it. It's just their worldview that they know is correct, and that's easier
Yeah.
for
Good
some
at
people.
treading
to
that
handle.
line.
But that's
Oh.
not science.
And the one I try to explain for a little bit is Pluto a planet?
Oh,
And
no.
right, it was,
That's what got people off of science.
but we just changed the definition once we learned more and realized, hey,
This ain't it.
it's not special.
It's
It's
just
a-
another rock, guys. Come on.
It's yeah, we didn't know there was more rocks like it.
Doesn't count.
It's not that special. So we, and we're learning more and more things, and we have to change kind of certain definitions of things to better fit the new knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Science is all about change and discovery.
All right, like even light.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Is it a particle or is it a wave? We still don't know because it acts like
does
a
do
particle in some ways and it acts like a wave in other ways in
And then
other
we
times.
discover
So
that we've been looking at two different things.
Then,
yeah, and we could be.
Then isn't it that people we don't know yet what exactly causes life to happen? Some matter forms together in a certain way and just consciousness happens.
It
Mhm.
was all by chance, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah,
There's no process to it.
we still don't know pretty much anything.
Dinosaurs and stuff. Whatever.
The science is just realizing how little you actually know.
Yeah. Science is admitting that you don't know everything and then looking for it.
I like that.
Real.
I also like how completely open to change psychology is because
Well, yeah, because people are very flippant.
because the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual, they've had 5 iterations, and I think there might be a 6th one coming sometime, probably. But
I'm
it's
about
just
to add a
really
7th.
interesting how there have been 5 iterations and how much changes from one iteration to the other. And it's just you can acknowledge that things are previously true. People always say dissociative identity disorder, formerly known as multiple personality disorder.
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
Right.
they can talk about things and like expand their knowledge of like these different like psychological concepts while still
The artist
like
formerly known as multiple personality disorder.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's where like you were mentioning earlier is that that's what throws people off,
It's
right?
changed? What?
It changes like, oh, I thought it was fact.
Man, you're lying.
And the thing is like it didn't change. It's more like things got added on.
Yeah, it's usually added on, or if it did change, it's not like it changed. We just didn't know that it was that way.
Yeah.
It's a bit goofy.
Like the big thing is like I mentioned about climate change.
Mm.
The biggest problem with it
Man, things are getting cold now.
was because it was originally called global warming.
Mm-hmm.
And well, global warming because we saw, hey, we see a trend of everything getting warmer.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's the branding it got and that's the way they stuck with it, and then figure out, wait, well, it's not just about getting warm, it's about the climate changing. It's
The
about getting
planet
hot
is
or
dying.
colder
Yeah.
in different spots.
Yeah, ozone layer's disappearing.
So
We just
it's
yeah.
interesting.
Living in my walls.
One thing I kind of realized recently is like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Earth has been through much worse events and has still like gotten back to a point of being healthy, even if it's like taken like such a
Right.
long time to be able to do it.
We may not be around to see the better side of it, but
Yeah,
something.
like I feel
Like the
like
dinosaurs.
the majority of the reason why people want to like do as much as they can to stop climate change is because they say they want to save the earth, but
They want to save humanity.
but they want to save humanity and like the future generations of animals and people that are going to live here and vegetation. But really, the earth is going to be fine. It's a big rock. Like
Yeah,
it
it
won't
don't
be
got
fine.
failings.
It won't be fine when the sun expands, but
No, yeah.
that's so long from now.
Yeah, just remember, guys, if you're having trouble dealing with your decisions, just remember that in a long, long time, the sun will explode and everything will be swallowed and no one will be around to remember you.
But if we really, wow, I hope that didn't cause existential panic
I'm
in
sorry,
anyone
I'm sorry.
listening. It'll
Oh,
be
yeah,
fine.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Cut that out, cut that out.
Even in the lifetime of the Earth, right? We're only
Yeah.
a couple thousand years old versus the Earth being, you know,
Billions,
Billions.
millions.
yep.
Old.
and so like
Old ass rock.
if we wanted to really save the planet, all we'd have to do is just murder
Kill
all
him.
the humans on the planet.
Kill him!
That's all we'd have to do.
Okay,
It'd be fine.
Thanos.
Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
Right. Well, and that was like the right when that movie, and I remember like talking about like he's technically right.
He's
I
not
was like,
wrong, guys. Shut up. You're disagreeing with Captain America?
I was like,
Tony Stark died for this. What is wrong with you?
it was like better the easiest best way to solve all our problems is to right,
Is to get rid of him. And sometimes, as we've talked about, the easy solution is not the best solution.
yeah,
But-
exactly.
Morality and
Whatever,
self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling schmealings, am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Um,
And like I don't know, I talked about this a while ago to some of my friends,
Mhm.
and it's like sort of taking philosophy into that account of like how people view it. It's like people have, in my opinion, kind of two sides of their morality, where they have their morality that they show to other people, that they like, that they sincerely
That they
like it's
display.
their conscious morality that they display and what they think they only feel. And then, to me, there's also a subconscious morality that's a lot more self-preservationist. It's a lot more selfish. It's a lot less, like, sometimes it's more caring about others, but only to the extent that, like,
The true core of your values.
that it helps, like, the person in question who has that subconscious morality. And, like, people don't think that there's that subconscious level, but I think there is. And
Well,
the reason that, like, people are so scared of, like, people deemed, like, sociopaths and psychopaths is because they have that separation and, like, they can control, well, I mean, psychopaths not really, but mainly sociopaths, they can control when they have that outwardly displaying morality and when they have that, like, true inner morality that's has a lot less compassion than the actual, like, normal person has. And so they think, like, oh, they have these two sides of their morality, but everyone does, I think.
It's just that they're able to control it, and their inner morality is vastly different from the one they portray.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and then right, I think right in psychology, it's kind of like it's called I forgot what it's called exactly. It's like iceberg.
Oh yeah, the iceberg theory.
Yeah, right. Like you have the conscious, which you can see, right? Then you have the subconscious, which you can kind of see because it's right underneath. But then,
And
like,
then the
there's
unconscious.
yeah, and so like that only gets triggered really when certain things occur, and it's why like people have been able to do like certain even people who do like certain drugs or to go through a very big event life that is able to go in there and they are different. I was like,
Yeah.
Right.
but certain things like trigger that and bring it up and make you, like you said, right,
Yeah.
act differently.
Yeah.
Like when people get whacked on the head in those movies, and then they can speak a different language.
Yeah.
In that sense, yeah.
There was a story of a guy who took 4 years of Mandarin in high school, and then he had a stroke, and he could, like, start speaking Chinese. Like, he could start speaking Mandarin really, really, really well.
Just
For
fluent.
some reason. It just, like, a switch flipped once he had a stroke.
Well,
And, I mean, that happens sometimes when people have strokes, but usually it's far worse of the effects.
it's not as much a.
So you don't want to
thing.
try and induce strokes.
Don't do a stroke trying to learn Mandarin. It's not a good idea. He got luckier than most. Brain's funky like that.
I know it's very, very
Big
complex.
clump of meat full of electricity.
We don't know a single thing.
Yeah, you don't know anything. It's the brain that knows everything, and you're just a meat suit being piloted by it.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
When I take all of my psychology classes, I will understand all psychology. I'll solve it.
But what if you didn't?
You
What if
two
you
will
did?
be
What
the
if I-
first to know.
I can't just be a mystery, guys. Come on. I like a good mystery, don't you?
Have you heard about the ghost limb?
Yeah.
Ghost limb, yes, I have. This, people who have patients of like amputee cases, or they like lose their limb in an accident. They end up feeling the phantom sense of their limb because their nerve endings are still firing like there's something there, which is pretty wacky.
Yeah.
JD, oh, sorry, if you want to say something.
Oh, have you heard how they treat it?
No.
I saw an
yeah.
episode of House where he had the guy stick his hand into a box, and then he had opened one side of the box and it had a mirror, and he looked in and he clenched his fist with the hand, and then he had him let go, and then it's like his other hand let go too.
Yep.
Tricking his brain into relaxing.
Interesting.
Is that how they do it, or was that just?
That's actually how they do it.
Oh, okay, good. I was just worried that I was like,
No.
oh yeah, that's how you do it, guys. Come on, it's that simple.
But what you said a little bit earlier, JD, really made me. It reminded me of, like, just the keeping things a mystery, it reminded me of that one Futurama episode where
Yeah.
they like find where they take this microscope and like find what the like the smallest thing in the universe, and so
Frog
like
on the bump in the hole in the bottom of the sea.
and so
Yeah, and
they
then
just
there's,
solve everything in the
gluons and
universe.
gluons and
And the funny thing about that episode is that it was all 8-bit pixel 16, like it was all pixelated, and so we couldn't see what it was, but they saw it. That was the big punchline, is that it was just a dot on the screen because it was just a pixel.
And so like just the implications of like, I mean, you know, we're constantly learning everything. We're relearning everything that we thought to be fact, or like thought to be well established and like wouldn't change much in science.
Right.
And we're learning all these new things, and it's just
what
like
we thought to be concrete turns out to be just sand.
and it's just like once we get to the end of that research, like what do people do?
Well, since humans are naturally curious creatures, and a majority of what we do is seeking knowledge, whatever outlet that may be, just absorbing information. Once we reach the end of that and there's no information to absorb, I'm sure people will just find a way to entertain themselves, and then we'll all go into extinction.
Yeah.
Well,
Or something like that. I don't know.
That brings up a question that my teacher asked me when I was high school. When we're doing a theory of knowledge.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about that class.
And it's pretty much right. Like everything that we do is pretty much a combination of things. And the stuff that we know of, right, is finite. Right, that exist.
Right.
So theoretically speaking, because there's a finite number of things, that means there's a finite number of combinations. So what would happen at that point, right, if we got to the end of all those combinations, right, of creating things? It would take a while.
Yeah, it would take a while, but I'm sure that would just mean that
With enough
everything's played out.
With
It's all
enough
over.
monkeys and periodic table elements, you know, it could happen.
With enough monkeys and enough paper and typewriters. Get Shakespeare.
But then, right, that makes infinite into finite.
Yeah, that's true, because there must be an end to everything, right? Unless it's infinite. Because people can't truly comprehend the concept of infinity, because it's so our brains can only comprehend things that you can fit into a box. Like if it doesn't have a concrete edge and you can see what it is, then it's like you can't really comprehend it. Like the same way when you think about like when you get up on stage and you see a crowd full of people, like you can only comprehend like if you're not seeing them, like if your back's turned to the wall and you're talking to a wall but it's being projected to a crowd, you can only like contemplate, like you can only really conceptualize somewhere between 100 to 200 people, and that's like a huge amount. Once you get to like the thousands point, it's like you can't really actually like comprehend that number like into a solid visual.
Yeah.
And so talking about infinity, I mean, come on. I mean, it's literally infinite. How are you supposed to comprehend that beyond just saying, oh, it goes on forever?
And then there's also, like, taking that and going a bit deeper into philosophy. There's, like, you know, mention of Plato's cave and just the idea that, like...
That's made of Plato.
So, for those who don't know, the story of Plato's cave goes that these men are tied by chain to a wall, and they're watching the shadow of people and animals crossing by. And one day, one of the men gets, like, freed of his chains, and he finally goes outside and realizes that the entire world is a different perception than like how he saw it. They're 2D objects. Those objects have color. The like people and animals have like designs and features.
Things beyond
so much
shadows.
more detail than they could have ever imagined. And so the guy goes back into the cave and he's like, look, like there's come with me. There's like a whole new world out here to explore, and they kind of just laugh at him, and they don't want to go outside.
Because they haven't seen it for themselves.
And so, to some degree, that's what people think, like, happens when you take, like, hallucinogenic drugs. Is it kind of like releases you from Plato's cave, and so you get to experience this thing that you couldn't comprehend before because you just couldn't imagine it. And
seeing is believing.
There's also that idea that comes up a lot in philosophy, especially with the branch of ontology, I think, where it's like basically the theory of the extent of what we know, and just like the idea of like the Matrix, basically. That could
the idea
happen,
that
and we would never know.
We could all just be a bunch of brains in jars, and we would never know because all we perceive is what we see in front of us.
Yeah.
We could all be hooked up to a machine.
Right, and then kind of going back off right to the Plato thing, right? The only thing that we know to be real is our brain. Everything else is a interpretation.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone around you is fake. Everything is made up. You are the only thing. You're the only real person.
That's the idea of solipsism.
Yeah, that's the idea that you're the only real person and everything else is a simulation or a figment of your own brain's creation.
Yeah, right. Because, keep going.
And then there's like hardcore solipsism, which is like not
You're
even
not
your
real.
brain exists; it's just your thoughts. Like,
No.
I mean, especially considering that, like, we made up the name brain. Like, the brain named itself.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, right. Because like, just talking about the Ghostland, we can already see how the brain, right? Because your visual and your body physical stuff makes the mistakes and interprets things wrong.
No. Oh no.
So who's to say that what you're seeing right now is right? Your brain interpreting things wrongs again.
Yeah, nothing around you's real. I'm in your walls. Take off your skin.
Yeah. Right.
Peel off your skin. There are bugs under your skin.
Philosophers proved that there was like that. I think it was either philosophers or psychologists. To a certain extent, back in time, same difference. But they proved a while ago that like all of your senses are unreliable to a point of all of them being able to be fully faked.
Yeah.
And so that creates a whole lot of confusion about what's real.
Yeah.
Well, because even in law, right? Like a person's that was there and is describing something.
Oh yeah.
That changes.
Completely unreliable.
Yeah. And even like your body.
Not very reliable.
Like your body, right? Like it only has up to a certain limit. Like it's the
What about people with
cells.
photographic memory?
That doesn't exist.
It isn't real?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just put away my photo album.
But like your body, your certain cells like that distinguish like hot versus cold. That only has a certain limit up to like a certain amount of Celsius and a certain amount below. After that, it doesn't know and it just guesses.
Yeah.
That's why when things are too hot, they feel cold.
And like the ice.
Things are too cold, then you start to burn.
Oh, speaking of heat, I just remember what I wanted to talk
check out
about.
my Fire mixtape.
It's on Spotify.
Yeah, come on.
It's just the Leidenfrost effect, where I've seen videos of just these guys like, it's really dangerous and really stupid, but they dunk their hand in like a bucket of water, and then there's like basically molten rock that's flowing, and they just slap the molten rock, and they're fine because the heat on the water burns off instead of like it getting onto their hand, and so they're
Like when
completely
you
unscathed.
lick your finger and then you hold it over a candle and it don't burn because it's just
It's the
it
water
does,
burning off and not your finger.
Yeah.
the water evaporates before it starts to burn you.
The same thing, right? When people put the lighter fluid or whatever on their hand, and
Right.
then light that
They
up.
put hand sanitizer and light your hand on fire, and it's not your hand on fire; it's the hand sanitizer burning off.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
JD,
you create
have
a
you
nice
put
little
ever-
barrier.
Have you put hand sanitizer in your hand and burned it?
Me?
off? Yeah.
No.
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 Okay.
Same thing with the fire breather people, like where they drink, they put the alcohol in their mouth and then they hold the flame and then they spit it out. They're not breathing the fire; it's just the alcohol burning
Yeah.
off, or the whatever the substance is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Real
That's just all just
illusion and deception. Nothing is real.
I was gonna say thermoconductivity, but yeah.
Same thing.
Same difference.
Everything can be an illusion and deception if you look close enough.
Yeah.
But don't.
I like how intertwined, like, chemistry and psychology and philosophy are, because those are like three of my favorite subjects.
Well, yeah, because they all involve things that all revolve around people. Because people are the subject of everything.
Well, you can combine different things and find different links, right? That's what I liked about science.
Mm-hmm.
Connects everything.
The interconnectivity between the sciences.
Yep. Gonna say it better myself.
Well, don't thank me. Thank our lovely host.
That is true.
Oh
Yeah.
do you remember when it was either it was M&M's, I believe, that you brought in for us to do stuff with valence electron. It was either to learn about valence electrons or just like something, but you had us
Right.
use M&M's. Do you remember that?
How do you use M&Ms? I have that much faith in you guys?
Yeah, no, the thing
Yeah.
is that you probably had to warn. I know that Trithiwi had to warn us and tell us that we aren't allowed to eat those because it's a science lab.
Yeah,
and eating anything from a science lab can have chemicals on it, so you shouldn't.
You gave us ones to use to not eat, and then you said we couldn't eat those ones, and then you give us ones after that we could eat.
If you don't eat those ones, and I'm counting them.
I remember using like Fruit Loops.
Oh yeah, I think it was.
No, we had M&Ms though.
You guys have? I can't remember M&Ms. Probably
we had M&Ms.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why.
I'm pretty sure that I also used M&Ms as well. Then, if he used,
you probably ended up switching to Fruit Loops
here's
after you
the
ran
problem.
out.
I thought I remembered, and that's the thing about memory. I thought I remembered that pretty distinctly, but now I don't know if it was Fruit Loops or M&Ms.
And that's another example of the unreliable. See, there it is again. The unreliability of the brain.
yeah, because I remember you guys moving them around, right, and to create the different valent shells.
Yeah.
Fruit Loop.
One thing I liked about chemistry was that, like, there are some things that just click instantly about it, and then other things that you have to, like, challenge yourself and learn through. And I was always able to do, like, the stuff that, challenged me, and I really appreciated that. And
if people would just give me the foundational knowledge and then build me up from there, then it'd all make sense in time. But no, we have to start all complicated.
Foundational knowledge of chemistry.
Yeah, you start with everything that could possibly be like starting from the basic foundational knowledge. Like you can't learning challenge. You can't ever go back and be like, oh well, I forgot something here. Nope, all foundational. That's how it works.
Well, and that's kind of the hard part is that with chemistry you can always add more to the explanation.
So we could just go on and on with the beginning knowledge.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember. I don't know if we got to it when we got because I think we ended, but we were probably talking about chemical reactions, right? Because we no valence electrons.
Yes, yes. Because we had the each row had a certain amount of them on
Uh-huh.
the periodic table.
And so we just talked about, hey, it wants to have 8.
Right, and so when you put two of the fluorine compounds together, and one of them wants more, or one atom wants more,
Uh-huh.
then it takes and shares.
Yeah,
Sometimes, depending on how far
exactly.
down the board it was.
We can spend like a whole month talking about exactly why it wants to hate. I just kind of
Well,
said it wants to have 8
I've got
to
time.
be happy.
Oh wait, no, I have
Right?
something next week. Never mind.
But we never talk
Damn it.
about like, hey, if you just mix two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they'll eventually have 8. Why doesn't it happen?
Hmm.
All right.
Because it didn't feel like it.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like it.
Hey man,
Um,
don't force it to do things it doesn't want to. That's not cool.
and that's kind of generally what the science is, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can force it, but you have to put in a lot of energy for it to happen.
How much energy would that be? And then we get into it.
And then even then, right, like it
What
still
kind
be
of energy?
together, but for how long?
Right. How much energy do you have to put into to make it hold together? And then we get down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. So we can just talk about that part for. I think I took a whole term kind of talking about that whole process.
Awesome.
I think the term you're looking for is chemistry.
That's just bonding.
Oh, you beat me. You beat me on that one. You got me. Damn.
But yeah, you can go in the rabbit hole adding, or that's why like I enjoy students who ask the why question.
Because you can just keep on going. There's no end.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just keep going.
And they're the ones who suffer for it.
Exactly.
They deserve it. Because children are rassafras.
Yeah, like that's why it's the fun part kind of as a teacher is trying to find that nice balance where you can explain something enough that they'll understand it because they're not yet at the level of, just
Right.
giving out the
Yeah.
full facts.
How much you need to dumb down the knowledge in order to get it to them and spoon feed it.
Especially because they're sophomores.
Especially because children are children.
Yeah.
I hate children. I guess hate's a strong word. I don't hate children. It's just strongly dislike. They're always asking why and how much longer and are we there yet, and yeah, it just gets to be a bit much.
One of my favorite things to like pick on kids who are the people about like, oh, it's time to leave, right?
Oh my gosh, the clock watchers.
Yeah. They're like, oh, it's 9 o'clock.
We have to go
Like,
now.
can we
Bye.
can we leave? I was like, wait 10 seconds. Look at the time again. Is it still 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, look again. Oh wow, it's still 9 o'clock. It's like there's more than a second in a minute.
Oh my gosh. It's like there's time is relative.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I really enjoy. It's just because frankly, I think the most amazing thing about Wikipedia is that once you start researching a thing, then they have all these links to these different and then especially if you don't like know what they are, if you're like looking up. That was during the school year. I decided to research quantum mechanics for fun.
Yeah. Casually.
Yeah, literally casually. And so I went to Wikipedia and I was like, okay, let's see what I can find. And then I ended up opening like 30 Wikipedia articles in like 15 minutes just to like understand like one concept on like the first paragraph.
I mean, I think I could get it under wraps if I just looked at it. 5 hours later.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a difficult thing to learn, but that's what makes it really fun for me.
Well, yeah, it's about the challenge of trying to learn it.
Yeah, when you talk about quantum, you pretty much have to have like a whole.
You have to have a degree before you get that degree.
Oh, I was gonna say, your whole wall has to be filled with a bunch of yarn and pictures and.
Oh yeah, you have to be batshit crazy.
You have to be looking for Pepe Sylvia.
You have to be the dude talking about what is it? Oh, Roswell.
Yeah, that's my kind of yeah. I really enjoy going through that like that mad scientist kind of research. Just like, you know, who doesn't
down the
enjoy
conspiracy rabbit hole?
Who doesn't enjoy the occasional like wall plastered with yarn and thumbtacks that are just
photos and maps and articles.
Yeah.
And then there's just a picture of the Loch Ness Monster somewhere on there.
To do with quantum mechanics.
Well, yeah. Famously, the reason that you never see any of those cryptids is because they're all quantumly entangled. You see, now there's a topic for a podcast. Too bad.
I gotta get Miss Alexander because she's
too bad we've been in here for 2 hours.
Because she's the IB physics teacher. Oh wait, have we?
It's event started 2 hours ago, so over 2 hours. That's crazy. We really ran over time.
Awesome. I gotta get Miss Alexander on here because she teaches IB physics, and I could talk to her about theoretically if a particle could move backwards in time with the same positioning that it traveled going forwards, because
that's called a fourth dimensional being.
Mathematically, it's theoretically possible.
Well, yeah, it's the being that lives within that dimension, the one that can exceed outside of the flow of time.
Just also like the theory of like negative matter.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well,
negative matter.
Yeah, the big thing, right, with math is everything is made to make to work, right?
Everything has an equal and opposite.
That's what variables are. They just made a number to make the math work out.
Well, it's real because I said so.
That's physics. You just add some like dark variable to like
physics
justify
is all theoretical.
Why your math is close enough.
Damn, if I really had to go into it, this number goes on and on and on. So I'm just gonna say it's this.
Yeah. Don't worry. If pi is just 3.
Well, yeah, that's my favorite number of slices.
It'd be fun to. It would be fun to do a, like. It would be very unrealistic to be able to like find someone who actually works like in like aerospace and just like
NASA?
You know, yeah, someone who works or SpaceX at this point because they're
I know. I'm just kidding. I know.
But yeah, that would be really cool to be able to talk about that like the trajectory of like launching rockets and
and how to arm a warhead.
I think that's
the basics.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that.
But yeah.
Promise. But
so,
yeah.
We'll see.
That anyone want to hit us up? Just let us know if you want to talk about if you're from NASA, just and you're watching or listen to our podcast for 2 hours. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on down.
All right. Well,
this is pretty epic.
I can't. Mr. Lopez, do you have any like distinct memories of my class? Like anything that like me and Ben and Eli and Cassie did that you can remember? Anything like that?
The distinct ones, like I always remember you guys like turning around and seeing if I heard things. Like, oh, did you hear what we were like talking about?
What? No, I'm teaching a class.
And I was like, no, I mostly try to like tune things out, like
Yeah.
on purpose, because I never want to, hear like overhear students' conversations for the most part, unless like they're
Overhear
being like
AIDS
really
one
loud.
time.
Yeah.
So I remember that quite a
Very.
bit happening.
Poor Miss
Um,
Kissinger. I had a table group of
She
people.
does not tone it out.
Um, she just like we would be talking about like something dumb, and then she would just like in the middle of like writing stuff in her notebook, just like look up and give us that eye of like, what the hell are you guys on about?
The concerned eyebrow raise.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
eyes almost falling out of their head. Like, what the hell did you just say?
um,
They did what to the dog?
Wait, why did I overhear hydrochloric acid 2 minutes ago?
I'm sorry. Did somebody just say napalm?
But
What's this got to do with JFK? What the hell?
I think just mostly remembering like just small little conversations here about like you like Cassie, you, and getting married.
Yes.
A lot of marriage stuff, and like yeah, a lot of like bits and pieces all coming like together.
Yeah,
It,
that was
it really took a bunch of yarn and on the wall. And
best. Yeah, that was an amazing. It's not a real high school chemistry class if you haven't had a joke platonic wedding before.
yeah, I'm sure a lot of listeners can relate.
Yeah, I'm just gatekeeping.
Gatekeep moment.
And hearing Cassie say, "What do you mean?"
What do you mean?
Oh yeah.
I remember that phrase a lot.
What do you mean? Man.
Man.
Goofy to the maximum. Am I right or am I right?
Always asking, "How busy are we?"
How busy are you? That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the way back to the beginning of the conversation. I just remembered how I keep thinking about it. How in freshman and sophomore year before COVID, you would get a detention slip
Yes.
if you were late 2 times to class.
Yeah, lunch detention if you were late.
And so every period they kept sending that paper over and over and over and over and over again. But nobody ever, like, I knew a guy who sat next to me in computer game design, and he got those the entire year, and every time he walked in his backpack, he just had like
A pile
stacks of paper.
Yeah.
Just
Oh my gosh.
of that detention slip.
Imagine
And
how many trees had to die just to tell this child they had to stay in for lunch.
Yeah, right. It's like,
He'd probably make a whole forest.
but like, yeah.
Yeah, and now you could get caught vaping in the bathroom, and they'll be like, "Don't do it again."
Vaping was the
Kind of
worst
cringe.
thing.
Very cringe.
It was the least of the bad
Yeah,
things
no.
that happened in those bathrooms.
I'm pretty sure on several occasions we had an ambulance called for a student who was either drunk or on drugs
Yeah,
because they OD'd.
our freshman year, there was a group of like 10 kids who
Well, no,
overdosed.
not even then. I mean, like this year, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's what
We've
that's
had
what
the
it was?
ambulance called a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, this year I think it was worse.
What happened
Man.
with this year?
Well, like I meant, like what you're talking
more,
about, like
yeah,
the
it's
more...
been worse, yeah. Like a few ambulances have been called. Hooray. We live in a great school district.
Yeah.
Yeah. School system's awesome, guys. We don't spend funding on new tables and nothing to do with the curriculum.
Don't get me started on
Oh,
talking about the school system.
don't get me started. All right, fine.
That's
We'll
gonna
be
add a
4
whole
hours
nother.
over by the time we're done.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a whole nother topic.
They're goofy.
A topic
Oh.
for another episode.
For another episode of the school podcast.
School
Is
podcast.
my fan picking up? Jesus. Yes, because we are talking about the school. That's about it.
Um,
No, I was being funny and changing the name of the podcast without your permission as a guest. You're welcome. My gift to you.
yeah.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
It's been fun.
yeah. Thank you both for joining me on the podcast. I had an amazing time just talking about this whole manner of things, which is going to take a million years to edit and upload, but that's okay.
It's no problem.
Well, thank you for the invite. I was worried at first. I was like an hour talking about, chemistry. I was worried. I was like, how are we gonna fill up that time? And I guess
we got it done.
we filled it up pretty well.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just all you have to do is get the conversation flow going, and then it's just it doesn't stop.
And that's my favorite thing about talking to people, like only one or two people at a time, is that like I feel like I'm so much better at keeping conversation flowing because it's like a little bit slower. Because if you're talking with like a whole group of people, then the topic is constantly changing like this, like
shift,
this, like
shift.
But I do much better when it's just like we can stay on the general topic of chemistry and we can go down like
And we kind of
lines,
achieved that a little bit.
and we add to each other, and then after a while we like switch topics, but we mostly stay on it. Am I right?
Yeah. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was.
Feel free to invite me again if you want me on here again. I'm pretty available.
What about you, Mr. Lopez? You think you might want to join us?
Yeah,
again?
depending on the topic here or there, I'd be definitely more interested in joining in. Keeping the conversation
I'll bring you
going.
back when we talk about conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
I
that'd be
could
fun.
talk a lot about that because that's fun.
I just listened to a podcast not that long ago about like the JFK assassination.
Don't get me started on JFK.
Yeah. There's
it was the CIA.
Yep.
There's a whole lot to go over there just because
We're not a big fan of his whole administration.
just because there's so much that people want to like simplify, and usually it's either like deliberate, like trying to like control people through like making them believe these weird things, or sometimes it originates from the person of like delusions about
Right.
like it's not a far stretch to say that like people who are experiencing delusions believing that they're like the son of the Pope or they're the Queen of England or something like that, like it's not a far stretch to say that they would like kind of come up with these things about like major world events,
right?
Especially
and
when
sometimes these conspiracies are used to control the public all on their own,
especially when like those delusions a lot of the time there'll be something about like a shadow government that like controls the world or something,
or like
but
how
anyways
the moon landing's fake.
But anyways, that's like
the moon's still up there. P.S. It never landed.
Should definitely we should definitely talk about conspiracy. Maybe just the three of us again.
I wouldn't mind if we just had the three of us. Hell, we could invite a fourth, or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just get everyone down here from all the conspiracy theorists that we can find.
Anyways,
or you can have one all on a specific conspiracy.
yeah, like a specific thing to like research, like one or two. But yeah, thank y'all for being on the podcast, and have a wonderful. Wow, it's close to dinner time. Yeah, so have a wonderful dinner and rest of your day.
All right then.
Thank you for the invite once again, and have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.